Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Kwakwadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim, Wathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity, as well as the speckled bird that may look like the nations, but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawakaw coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson is going to be on these two videos. I saw this video a few days ago, 2 days ago or yesterday or whatever. And then I saw this video just now, and I thought, you know what? I think it's funny, and this has to be the spirit. This is definitely the spirit. No, it is the spirit. All right, because the thing is, as I always say, there's no such thing as coincidences, and it is a perfect example of, we don't do things from skin color. We do things through the spirit. Okay. And I'm not saying that that this guy is not a Jake. And I'm not saying that this guy is a Jake. I'm just telling you, like, this is the spirit and how we do things. We do things through the spirit, and what someone's thing, I'm trying to think of the word. You basically get the point. How someone conducts himself is determined on if they're in the right spirit or not. So, 1 John 4 verse 1, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. And the thing here is that this guy said something which I think is really like stupid, and this is like a perfect example of the double standards and stuff like that. It's just like, oh, we can't do anything wrong, but God can do everything wrong. All right, so I'm gonna let this video play a little bit so you can hear what he said.
That about us, right? We save an animal, and that nigga is good, bro. Ain't no way that nigga good. He is a fucking... He used to do it when the opportunity presented itself. And people and save people, okay? That is a narcissistic, selfish megalomaniac who is doing this for an ego trip and for his own selfish purposes. If he was doing it because that was his nature, he would always do it when the opportunity presented itself. And so that, if we have some kind of intelligent, conscious being observing this and making it do what it do, ain't no way that nigga is good, bro. Ain't no way that nigga good. He is something else, right? He is something else. He might be more like the relationship between us and animals, okay? Because on one hand, the same person who will maybe save an animal, an injured animal, will then turn around and eat a chicken for dinner. Or, you know what I mean? Eat a mammal for dinner, gladly have its throat cut. And so from the perspective of the animals, they would be able to say something like that about us, right? Oh, like, are humans good? Are they good? It's not the kind of relationship we have with animals. And so if there is some kind of a God, that's probably more what it's like. But that aside, I am.
So, yeah, you basically heard that, and I just feel like that's so disingenuous to be that way, because very clearly there's a lot more intelligence that goes into our relationship with Yahawadah compared to our relationship with animals, where the common thing when it comes to people in general, which I'm not saying that this is the case, I'm just telling you the common thing that people believe is, every human has free will. So if you believe that you have free will, if you believe that you're able to do whatever you want, then why is it that you are making the wrong choice? Why is it that other people are making the wrong choice? But yet all that responsibility is put on to Yahawadah rather than the people. So if you are a parent, okay, and if you are giving your kid responsibility, hey, don't do this, don't touch a hot stove, don't do X, Y, and Z, whatever, and stuff like that, and your kid goes and does that anyway, then okay, well, fuck the parent. It's the parent's fault. You need to kill the parents. The parents are like all that shit. That's the mindset. That's the way he's explaining. And even to take it a step further, again, I genuinely do like this video because it really does go into something that's kind of important, and I'm not going to let the whole video play, but I will let some of it play because this dude sounds like he's an Edomite, and I really like what he said, or what he says, and how he's kind of pointing out the flaws in atheism, all right? Because when it comes to morality, I have heard that, you make it up yourself, you do this and that and the third, and me personally, I feel like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because there has to have been a baseline. Because let's say, for example, if you think that killing people is okay, so if you kept on going around killing people, and you've never been checked by it, all right, you would either learn it too late where you died, then you would say, okay, now I see that killing people is wrong, or you would just never think that it is something that needs to be monitored or stopped, because you would just you would continue to kill people and never be contested because you are, again, the strongest or some shit like that, at where you are able to keep on doing the wrong things over and over again and never be stopped by it, because there's no higher power or no authoritative force to stop you and make you realize that what you're doing is wrong and harmful. So as a result of that, like, there is no start to it. Saki, I shouldn't have said that, because he basically goes into it, and I want to let this video play because I do respect the things that he said. So here it is. I'm a mute.
You'll often hear atheist critics of Christianity say that morality has been hijacked by religion. Funnily enough, these people are not so deep in their history as they are in their philosophy. Think about the ancient civilizations that used their supposed religious morality for war and evil works. These atheist thinkers borrow so much from our modern Christian worldview that they believe people just know what is good. But their morality is grounded on literally nothing. They think they know what is right due to them liking it. I'll later prove that this is the first sin ever recorded in scripture. Nietzsche even says, "You have your way, I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist." You realize what that means, right? These are the people saying that morality is defined by whatever society decides it is. What if everyone agreed murder was okay? Would it be okay? It's a genuine question. It's brought to the extreme in order to make you think. An atheist would most likely say, no one is going to think murder is okay, or at least the majority won't, because it hurts a human life. Then who decides what is good or bad for a human life? And who even decided humans have value? They certainly don't believe so. They believe you can prevent one from even being born. So much for individualism and every person deciding what is right. An aborted baby never gets to make its judgment. Genuinely, who decides what is right and wrong? The only valid atheistic worldview, if they're completely consistent, is moralistic nihilism. Meaning that no matter what they do, if they murder, rape, and do as many debaucherous acts as they want, there's no meaning to it. They truly and consistently believe that there is no such thing as good or evil. And they slap those Christian words on whatever they decide they like or dislike. What if you love to bully that kid at school? Or you love to shoot random people on the streets? They'll often appeal to desire and if they like doing something for if it is moral. But it should be apparent to even atheists that the human heart is wicked. Of course they don't know what wicked means though. The next appeal you'll hear from them is that if it hurts another person, then it must be wrong. So then they strive away from individualism and more toward the quote greater good of all of the human race. Interestingly enough, that is very foreign to the actual pagan or non-Christian practice. Who in history has looked out for the greater good of human race? Maybe your own tribe or clan, but no one ever just looks out for individuals stemming from their own morality. How narcissistic it is though, such a man-centered worldview. They'll look for their own glory in their own good, rather than what is the truth, and doing what is truly good. But that's because they don't believe there is anything that is truly good, and they certainly can't define truth, as Pilate even asked Jesus, what is truth? Many atheists will even admit and literally say that after leaving religion, they quote, realize they can be the judge of what is good and bad. I genuinely heard an atheist on a video say this. Think about the implications. You decide what is good and bad? Imagine if everyone did that. Unfortunately, that's what we've come to. People can't define words. They can't justify their arguments. It's all coming from within. This is why Jesus says it's...
Slakia, I am actually going to leave this video, not the other video, in the description, because I do think it's important. It's a good listen. And he was talking about, I just forgot what he was talking about. But he was basically, defining things. So the thing with definition is that, people, they can't, or more specifically atheists, they cannot define, certain things like what is good. So when it comes to good, let's say, for example, is it good to give up your gift or your thing or something that is precious to someone else? Or is it good to sacrifice one person for another person? Is it good to sacrifice one person to save 5 people, like the trolley problem and stuff like that? Those are stuff that, are, I guess, I forgot what the term is, but moral quandaries or some shit like that. I don't know. But those are the things that there is no actual like answer to it. There's no like, I don't know, proper answer to it where people do argue stuff like this. And Slocky, I'm not gonna lie, this wasn't even on my mind. I just saw the video and I had to talk about this. But basically, my main thing is just how unfair and how, and I've talked about this before, where again, everyone wants to put all the blame on the Lord for when things are bad, but nobody wants to give credit when the Lord is making things good. So it's just like the dude's example. He said that a man is raping a little girl or something like that. That's basically what he said as an example. And okay, so that is God's fault that the man didn't stop and stuff like that. But then, okay, so what about when a man makes fucking technology and stuff like that, or makes flight, or is able to fly? All right. Oh, that's just man's fault. That's man's credit. Man's doing this, that, and the third, or whatever. And again, like, it's just like, how are so, not we, but how are they so inconsistent in their arguments and in their mindsets that they think that this is okay, that they think that this is fair or whatever, in order to say stuff like this? All right, like, again, that doesn't make any sense to me. And again, going back to the whole definition thing, it's just like, okay, so like, what is good? All right, what is okay? What is fine? What is moral? What is immoral? What is amoral? What is whatever, and stuff like that, where these words the definition of these words start to lose their meaning when you take away the religious aspects of it, which, in all honesty, that's where it came from. I will say, I'm trying to correct myself, but it's not necessarily religious, because one of the things that the other dude said was, if you go to some random remote island for people that have never heard about Christianity, then they will say that they don't know what God is, or who God is, X, Y, and Z, and stuff like that. Which, of course, that's to be expected, because Christianity is a European thing. So we shouldn't be basing our religion, or basing just the generality of religion based off of European standards, because a lot of times people, they follow different gods. Like, even in India, I think they have Buddhism or Hinduism or some shit like that. That is where a lot of the big divides is, where people aren't just taking things at face value or whatever, and or people are taking stuff at face value, and they're saying, oh, well, because these people don't have Christianity, then that means that, oh, God is not in nature, or it's not natural, when in actuality, while it may not be, the God of the Bible or God in general, but there's definitely an innate thing in people. It was I think it was a test, something where they tested a whole bunch of kids, where basically what happened was, there was a story that they told, a very short story. I'm gonna tell you the story. It was basically they brought a bunch of kids from different backgrounds and stuff like that, and said, hey, look at this kid, this boy stole an apple, and then he ran on a bridge. The bridge collapsed, and the boy drowned or fell into the water or some shit like that. I forgot exactly how it said, but that was basically the thing. Then they asked how or Slakia, why did the bridge fall under the boy? And then I'm not going to say all, but most of the kids said because the boy stole the apple, meaning that there was in their mind that generally in their mind there was a mindset of some sort of divine intervention casting judgment on this metaphorical board, hypothetical board, whatever the fuck the term is called, to put judgment for said boy, hypothetical boy, doing something bad. So as a result of that, that is basically the thing that happened. I wish I had the thing. I might chat GPT it and see if there is a better explanation to that, but definitely or maybe you can check it out yourself. You can put the story in and maybe ChatGPT will find it. But anyway, basically my main point is that yes, in a certain way, even little children, regardless of their background, they tend to believe in a divine entity that is, kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes. And as a result of that, yes, this is basically where a lot of this stuff comes in.
Truly good. But that's because they don't believe.
Oh yes, Slocky, now I remember. And one of the things here is that he was pointing out how atheists tend to say that, okay, well, I can just make up my own morals and stuff like that. So let's say if you as an atheist are actually sincere and you want to make up your own morals and stuff like that, okay, sure, you're making up your own morals, but who are you to make up morals for everyone? Who are you to say what's right and what's wrong? And while you might be trying to make a genuine moral baseline for the whole world to follow, well, who's to say that someone else might not think to do the exact same thing, but then their morals are so fucked up that it's just flat out abusive, and it's just exploitative for the sake of being able to do what they want, or letting there be so much chaos, which that's why there are so many people and that's Slucket. I saved this one screenshot. I don't know if it's in my phone or if it's in my computer, but there was this one screenshot that I had saved where what happened was someone had said on Twitter, but at the time it was called Twitter, but someone had said at the time Nintendo should kill themselves, and then someone else had replied to that and said saying this is not okay. And then someone, give me 1 second, let me see if I can find it. Where the fuck is it? Is this it? Bear with me 1 moment. I hope I didn't delete it. Is this it? Okay, I found it. Bear with me 1 moment, Slovakia. So I'm going to close all this out and see where is display capture. Okay, so here is the thing. So someone said you should kill yourself at Nintendo, and then this person said chaotic punk atlas saying this is not okay. All right, and then this person replied, the anarchist is giving us rules on what to do. And this is the funny thing about it, is because I was like, why the fuck did he say that? And I think I have a screenshot to go along with that, if you can give me a moment. Oh yeah, I do have a screenshot. So here it is. So you see Chaotic Punk Atlas, Blue-Eyed Atlas, and then I'm gonna go here, full screen this. Is there a zoom in feature? Yeah, here. Chaotic Punk Atlas, Blue-Eyed Atlas, the same person. I just went into their bio and screenshotted it, and it basically, fuck both your faction, total chaos, anarchy, punk life, coffee, gremlin, I has slim. So basically the main thing is anarchy, total chaos. So they don't want rules, but yet they're saying what rules is not okay, because they said, oh, saying this is not okay yet. And that is the funny thing about it. That's the funny thing about it, the irony that they want to put rules while they don't want to follow rules. So it's this is the beautiful thing, where like people, they hate being controlled, but yet they actually do appreciate, and without even acknowledging it themselves, they actually do want to be controlled. They do want rules in place. They do want something that says, oh, you are not allowed to kill, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder, and all that stuff, because if people start killing randomly, then guess who suffers as a result of that? You lose your family members, you lose your thing, you lose your whatever. You might even lose your own life because as a result of what was going on. So that is the type of hypocrisy and utter ridiculousness that I was like watching. I was like, how is it that people are so like proud and stuck up in saying the things that they say, just to then go back and seek refuge and protection from the exact same rules that they were saying that should not be put in place. All right. And again, this goes back into with the whole religion, because if you don't know, a lot of the laws and stuff like that, like don't kill, don't steal, and all that stuff, guess where it came from at the end of the day? All right, it definitely came from I won't say Christianity per se, but religion. All right, where there's definitely a higher power at work. There's a someone at a higher position, telling people what to do, how to do, and what is okay and what's not okay, just to say the least. So this was something that I found amusing, in which I definitely am more in support of this guy's video as a result of it. All right, so I have to remember to post it, share the link. But yes, a lot of the things, I'll let this play it one more time so you can hear.
Believe that there is meaning that no, genuinely, who decides what is right and wrong? The only valid atheistic worldview, if they're completely consistent, is moralistic nihilism, meaning that no matter what they do, if they murder, rape, and do as many debaucherous acts as they want, there's no meaning to it. They truly and consistently believe that there is no such thing as good or evil, and they slap those Christian words on whatever they decide they like or dislike. What if
that's basically it. That's, I don't know, like it is refreshing to see, because I already, me personally, I've never been an atheist in my life. I have what's the word, had, maybe not had discussions, but I've seen discussions on the whole topic, But more importantly for me, I've always just thought like, wow, this is pretty interesting, to say the least, that this is happening. Like, this is, again, interesting to me that this is happening. So anyway, with that being said, I want to continue into getting these precepts. I already read this, but yes, try the spirits. And again, like, just because it's the apparent Edomite that's speaking on the side of righteousness, that doesn't mean that, you know, they're always the bad guy and stuff like that. You know, we still have to, you know, observe things from the spirit. And, you know, I definitely don't like this guy. I definitely hate people that, which I think he did say that he thinks that, you know, if you are a so-called black content creator and you want to appeal to so-called black people, you should definitely avoid talking badly about religion, which, you know, he said he doesn't, which good for him, I guess. I don't care. I really don't like him. And, you know, he was definitely right. And I'm not saying this to say like, oh, I absolutely despise him or whatever. You know, it's just like whatever. Like, you chose to live the way you want to live. You live the way you want to live. He is bringing certain things to the forefront. I think this video is. Wait, what? I don't know. I have to watch more about it because I didn't finish it. And honestly, he barely let the video play, and I barely heard the entire argument or the purpose of the videos of both this response and that guy's response in the first place, because I just don't know. Or maybe the problem was just that most so-called black people are Christians, and I think that was basically really the main thing. Anyway, moving on. Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7, I form the light and I create darkness, I make peace and create evil, I the Lord do all these things. So it says it right here that YAHAWAH created light and darkness, peace, evil, and does all these things. So again, like, and I already talked about it, I don't want to repeat myself, but let me continue over here. Deuteronomy 32 verse 39, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So basically, YAHAWAH, he has control over everything. He is the one that kills and heals and gives people, you know, power and all that stuff. Yet, we're going back to this whole matter of, we're going back to the matter of, you know, who has the power, who has the authority and stuff like that, where it says the Lord kills, the Lord heals, the Lord makes alive, and all that stuff. The Lord is the one that has power and authority over all these things. Yet people, again, like, they just tend to they only want to take the credit and, oh, God just doesn't have anything, or he only has power to stop the bad, but yet he doesn't do it. Well, again, exactly, that's me repeating myself. And we're continuing on. Job chapter 4 verse 7, remember I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where the righteous cut off. And this is the main thing that is kind of my answer when it comes to stuff like this. Whenever something bad happens, it goes back into, I guess, primarily reincarnation, which, you know, some people don't like the term reincarnation, whatever. When it comes to reincarnation, when people do bad, they have to answer for it. They have to pay for what they've done. And, you know, sometimes certain people did something in a previous life, and okay, well, YAHAWAH is making sure that they pay for it now. And let me actually get this. What is the thing? It was third here. So Numbers chapter 14 verse 18, the Lord is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Basically, when someone does something, then okay, on the third or fourth generation, and that's when they're going to have to answer for what they did. And sometimes that stuff happens, like, oh, well, when people are kids or some shit like that, then something might have happened because, oh, maybe they did something when they were a kid or whatever. All right, sometimes it doesn't even have to be like that. Sometimes it's not always a one-to-one thing, but you understand generally what's going on, where the Lord allowed stuff to happen because this person was wicked and whatever. So Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. All right, and that's basically the main thing here, where our whole goal is to follow and serve YAHAWASHI. All right, where again there is that thing where people really can't, accept that and keep that. All right. Sirach chapter 39 verse 28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And that's the thing here, where the Lord puts spirits on people to go and put judgment on someone and stuff like that. All right, when someone went off, someone was wicked, someone evil and stuff like that, and the Lord is making sure that these spirits go after the people to whom it deserves. The Lord is very intentional, and it's not no mistake or anything like that. All right, but yet people, again, it's more so because that's the thing about him, about how he made, about how he chose his example. The thing about how he chose his example was, it was to invoke like, oh my God, you need to feel sorry for this person and stuff like that. In my example, where in his example, where he was saying that what if a kid got hurt or something like that, or this stuff happened, and then as a result of that, it makes you think, oh, God is so evil, God is so that. And this is a general tactic that people tend to use when making arguing points. All right, so with that, praise system was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, about Shalom.